name's Jordan Hollas. I work at Artel Salon. Today we're doing a course on teaching a modern wearable shag haircut. This is my lovely model, Jen. As you can see, she's got a good length going on right now, but she's got pretty heavy hair. So we definitely want to break it up with some layers around the face and some weight reduction through the back hair. So when I say a wearable shag, what I mean is that I want her to still be able to wear her hair air dried. I want her to be able to style it. I want her to be able to put her hair up and never feel like her layering is getting in her way. So first of all, we're going to start with a consultation to try and understand better what we can do to make this haircut perfect for her. Then we're going to go through sectioning and we're going to see where the weight is in her hair, focus on reducing that without adding too much surface layering through the back hair. After the consultation, we're going to head to the sink, give her a shampoo, and we're gonna get started with the cut. All right, so we've got Jen all washed now. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little baseline trim, dust off her layering a little bit, and we'll get into the face framing, okay? Do you have a preferred parting?
Usually on the
okay. Now that we've gone through and cleaned up all of her perimeter, all of her baseline, got rid of all those dry ends, I'm gonna go in and start removing bulk from the back because this is quite heavy back here. We wanna see more air in the ends and you're not gonna get there if you don't cut some of the hair out. So I'm gonna go through and take diagonal sections. When I get into my diagonal V-shaped sectioning, I'm gonna start taking bulk out of the lower sections. As you follow the hair strand down, you can see it's quite solid through here. You can't really see my finger through it. We want to get rid of some of that. We are not currently using any fancy tools. I don't like to use thinning shears. I tend to do all of my weight reduction with either plain old cutting shears or a razor, because I prefer the effect. Okay, next V. So Jen's growth pattern is about here. Because of that, I have offset the V shape to account for the extra weight that needs to come out of this side. You'll notice also when I'm working with a guest that has color in their hair, I will generally try to remove the darker pieces from the ends versus the light pieces. As you can see, everything's falling really nice and naturally right now. To reduce bulk, I am going through and simply slide cutting sections out of the ends, anywhere I see extra bulk that can be taken out. Now that we have the weight reduction through the back done, you can see as I comb through, her ends taper, whereas before we had a pretty blunt line. So now that we've gone through and gotten rid of our baseline and we've taken our bulk out of the back, we're going to start with the fun stuff and do some of the layering around the face. To decide where I'm going to start our layering, I look at our model's natural parting. I'm also going to take my comb and I'm going to balance it on the top of her head. See this space right here? That is as far back as we want the very front face framing layers to go. So these two little pieces of hair up here are going to become my guide. Because Jen does wear her hair to a slight side parting, I'm going to over direct her hair to keep her parting at the center of the section. So what I'm going to do now is elevate the hair, centered with her parting. Cool. And I'm going to slide cut to create my initial length. When I comb those out, you can see where her layering will start. And what I do now is I take diagonal sections around her face, elevate, and connect. So here's our first heavy piece of face framing. So now on this side, I'm going to take a slightly larger section as we do have most of her hair over on this side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to elevate, and connect. The reason I'm using a slide cut is because I want to add in as much texture as I can all the way through. Now I'm going to go side to side, and I'm going to continue my process all the way through the section in front of the ears. I'm taking all of my sections at a diagonal, and I'm taking them all to the same point, which is the first section that I initially cut. And the reason I move around so much while I'm cutting is because I like to ensure that I'm getting the exact section that I'm looking for, and I can't do that from the other side of her head. Elevate, connect. I'm starting to notice that Jen's hair is drying out, so I am going to go in and spray it down just to keep the hair as moist as possible during the cutting process. I'm using the Untangled Leave-In Conditioner from Kevin Murphy. So the reason that I like to cut haircuts wet is because I want the kind of maximum glideability of my shears through the hair at every point. So now that I've got her face framing guide cut, I'm going to start to connect the hair above the ears. Just because anything that's in front of the ear, that's going to be what's going to frame her face. She's got quite dense hair, so because of that, I can take liberties when it comes to the size of my sectioning here. I'm not worried about making the ends of her hair look thin. I just want to give her as much movement as possible. So now, slide that hair right off. With this section of hair, I do also like to take a piece from here and create that angle too. The reason I like to do that is to create more texture around the face. So you can see now that this section tapers. So I'm not going to be cutting any of this hair that's coming from here. This is simply what I'm using as my guide. I'm cutting this hair right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go through and create the surface layering around the face. I'm going to take vertical sections starting around the face. Elevate and connect. Okay, so now I'm going to elevate. I'm going to look for my guide, which is right here, and remove this hair. Now it's going to get a little bit more difficult on this side because we are working with more hair, so I am going to break it down into more sections over here. Okay, so here is our first vertical section that we've cut. I'm going to go in right behind that section, take a new one. I want a piece of this section so that I know I'm always following my guide. So now I'm looking for my guide, found it. Okay, and same thing with the next section. Take a small vertical section, add in a small piece from your previous section, and look for your guide, and connect. As you can see, the front is far more tapered now. You dizzy yet? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and connect a tiny bit of a surface layer into the layering in the front. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take an eye-shaped section around her parting, just behind her fringe. And by eye, I mean eyeball, not the letter. Okay, got my eye-shaped section. And what I'm going to do is the same thing I've been doing this whole time. Find my guide and connect. I'm connecting with a slide cut here as I'm looking for more random lengths. A little more leave-in. So as you can see, now when I brush her hair back, we actually have movement in the hair. It's not all just one length. But she still has a nice strong baseline and can still put her hair up. What do you think? Do you feel like you can take more around the face? Okay.
Sure.
So I've gotten the A-OK. We're going to go ahead and take the layering around the face a little bit shorter. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to follow her hairline from parting down, okay? Yeah, well, the reason that I want to take it shorter is just so there's more movement. That's what this whole haircut's about, is getting more movement and having a little bit more fun around the face. So some of the reasons that people like to have shorter layering around the face is to help highlight their cheekbones, their jaw, some positive assets that people just really like to look at. So right now, we're a little bit too far past her chin to really be highlighting anything. So what I'm going to do is go in and bring this all up. I'm going to elevate the hair to a point where I can grab my guide right here and slide cut downwards at an angle because we don't want to be creating any harsh lines. Okay, so now that I've got my face framing done, I am going to go through and start to blow dry. I am mostly going to be blow drying with my hands. I will, however, use a round brush right around the face, and we'll see if we want to do any more cutting when we're done, okay? So product-wise, I'm going to go in with a lot of moisture today. I'm going to use the Smooth again. which is an anti-humectant cream. Help bring down those little frizzies there. Oh, the purpose of an anti-humectant is to keep moisture in the air out of your hair. So after this blow dry, she should be able to wear her hair for a few days. There is a mild amount of heat protection available in all Kevin Murphy products. However, because I want the maximum level of heat protection, I'm going to use the heated defense foam as well. This product is meant for heat protection up to, I believe, 450. I am correct. 3 pumps of that. And I'll scrunch this in and run my hands through. So now that I've finished her blow dry, I've got a little bit of Easy Rider in my hand, which is a very, very, very soft anti-frizz cream. I'm going to spread this in the palms of my hand and run it through her mids and ends. And the reason I like to do that is just to keep frizz down and give a little bit of pieciness and texture to the ends. So as you can see, we've got lots of nice movement around the face. Still a pretty solid baseline, but a little bit more fun. Hey everyone, thank you for checking out my haircut today. Just to recap, what we did today was go through, give Jen a nice cleanup on the ends, get rid of some of her dead stuff. After that, I went in and added a ton of new face framing layering here. So when I shake that out, this was all one length before. And the reason that we added all this stuff in is to give her more movement and let her have a little bit more fun with her hair. So this was my initial length guide. And as you can see, I've worked all of my layering up into that point while still keeping and respecting a pretty solid baseline. And then as you can see across the back here, because I didn't want a completely solid baseline, I did go through and create a very soft surface layer off of her parting. And how I did that was I took an eye-shaped section, like eyeball, not the letter, and I elevated that and connected it to the front sectioning. As you can see, it's just a really soft surface layer to break up that length. For styling, I went in and used the Smooth Again blow dry cream as well as the heated defense, and I finished with a bit of Easy Rider just for a little bit of texture. And I created the style with a round brush blow dry. So that's it everyone, thank you so much for coming, and thanks Jen.